Huge, fast-moving wildfires have destroyed up to half of the historic Canadian town of Jasper, officials said, and the blazes are still out of control as firefighters try to save as many buildings as possible. Entire streets of the main town in western Canada's Jasper National Park have been leveled by the fire, with the video showing smoldering rubble where homes once stood and the charred remains of cars. While no deaths have been reported, some 20,000 tourists and 5,000 residents have fled the mountainous area in Alberta province, which has been hugely popular with tourists for decades. During a news conference on Thursday, a tearful Alberta Premier Danielle Smith struggled at times to recount the scale of the damage, but said potentially 30 to 50% of the buildings have been destroyed. There is no denying that this is the worst nightmare of any community, she said, adding that Jasper National Park has been a source of pride for many generations. Mrs. Smith became visibly emotional as she described the beauty of the park and its significance to the community, which relies largely on tourism. Some 2.5 million people visit the park and nearly Barn National Park each year. Carrie Decor, the owner of the Malign Lodge in Jasper, was on a holiday when she learned her hotel had burned down. Wow. On Wednesday night, she received a photograph of the building in flame. And this is what she said. "I was horrified and devastated when I saw that photo," she told the BBC. "I think it's going to take a couple of days for the shock to wear down. It is really hard for everyone to comprehend what we lost one of our properties," she said, as she added that she intended to rebuild the lodge. Now, journalists have found out that in Jasper National Park, when fires begin to burn on Monday, she drove through the night with her husband and daughter in a rush to leave town. And I quote, she said, "The storm was ferocious. The skies went dark red and there were whipping winds, fierce rain and lightning. We are some of the last travelers to see Jasper in its full beauty. It will be a very long time before it will recover. It is utterly devastating for them. All of my heart is breaking. Hundreds of firefighters from around the world have been deployed to help with the response, but officials warn that the extent of the damage is still emerging. The focus of Thursday, they said, was on containing the towering flames which engulfed the town from two sides." Pierre Martel, the director of the National Fire Management Program at Parks Canada, said the fire was started by a lightning storm that escalated late on Wednesday, and it was fanned by powerful winds. "It was just a monster at that point," one of the witnesses said. "There are no tools we have in our toolbox to deal with it. The flames reached 100 meters, that is 328 feet high in some of the places, and it covered an inordinate amount of space in a very little time," as said by one of the officials. Mike Ellis, who is one of the officials at Alberta's Minister for Public Safety, said the fire was 5 kilometers, 3 miles outside of Jasper, when it was pushed by the winds to the town in less than 30 minutes. "Any firefighter will tell you there is little to nothing you can do when you have a wall of flames coming at you like that. Nobody anticipated that fire to come so fast, so large and so quickly." Justin Trudeau, Canada's Prime Minister, thanked the emergency services for their response to the wildfires, and he said, "As the heartbreaking images from Jasper emerge, I want to thank the brave first responders who are in Alberta right now, fighting to save every home and every community they can," he said. Environment in Canada said there might soon be a reprieve from the hot and dry weather which allowed the fire to grow, as the rains are expected late on Thursday. This marks another year of difficult fire conditions for the province. Last year, a record of 2.2 million hectares burned in Alberta between 1st March and 31st October. Outside Alberta, there are more than 45 active blazes in British Columbia, and fires are beginning in California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, and Utah in the US. The overall number of fires has decreased around the world, and over the last 2 decades, this has been observed. But researchers say that climate change will bring more lighting to forests in North